Okay, so the latest transfer news around Manchester United is that Man United are looking at Greek defender Kostas Manolas. Now, this guy's a real character. The colourful past to him, and there's a few stories about him which I'll come to shortly. But basically, he's playing in Italy in the Serie A for Roma. He's under contract, but he's got a 36 million euro, we think it is, release clause. Now, he's got Napoli, Arsenal, Juventus also interested in him, and in the past he's really been wanted by a number of big clubs. David Moyes actually did try and sign him for Man United in his term, but he obviously got sacked and didn't follow through with that. Jose Mourinho, when he was at Chelsea, tried to sign him as well. And also there's talk that Arsene Wenger was very keen on taking him to Arsenal in his time. So a lot of interest behind him. He's a central defender. And he's I suppose he's a cross between Nemanja Vidic and Roy Keane for his character, and we'll go a bit more into his character. And I think his character, although it can be a little bit volatile, is what Man United need in that dressing room at the moment. And he's like I say, very colourful. But we'll go into a bit of who he is. Is he any good? He's a traditional centre half. He's sort of 6'2" so a big lad, but he combines that. He's got that ability to be able to mark a smaller, faster centre forward. So he's very agile, he's very quick, but he's also very physical. I mean, he's played in the Greek league for a number of years, Italian Serie A League. He knows how to defend and can be very, very physical. So he combines both. He can also bring the ball out of defence, so he's quite calm on the ball. So, I think he'll be a terrific signing. Now, he's 27 years old. He'll be 28 in June, so he'll start the season as a 28-year-old. He's an ideal age. Whoever signs him, and hopefully Man United will, they'll get 4 or 5 good years out of him. So, and he's a fairly settled player. He doesn't go hopping around from season to season. So now he's not any snowflake by any means. I mean, there's talk in a game when he was playing in Greece. I think he broke his cheekbone quite seriously, and he had to have it operated on straight away. But he broke his cheekbone in the first minute of a game. Went on and scored in the 6th game. He was hauled off in the 15th minute when everybody realised the seriousness of the injury. He wouldn't go to a hospital. He refused to go to hospital until he'd watched the game and the game was over. He then went to hospital, had operated on the following day, and rumour has it he was back in training very, very quickly. So he's a battler, he's a warrior. Now, I'll give you a little bit of his history. He started his career, I'll try and pronounce the team, in Greece in 2008-2009 season, Thrasouvilos. Now, he only played 6 times for them, and then he was transferred into the AEK Athens side. And, he was quite keen, he's quite passionate about playing for AEK Athens. His uncle was a former player for them and also a former manager for them. So he was quite passionate about his time there. Now, he played for Athens for 3 seasons, 85 appearances, 6 goals. So he's, as a centre half, he's not going to give you lots of goals, but he does chip in. He then transferred to Olympiacos and was there 2012 to 2014, 2 seasons, 73 appearances there, 6 goals again, so chipping in on the goals. And then Roma signed him. I think they signed him for about 15 million euros in 2014. Obviously been there for 5 years. I think in his first season he was absolutely adored by the Roma fans as the best signing that they'd had. Played 206 times, 9 appearances for them. So he's played in some good teams, in some hard leagues, and he really is. Now, he's a bit volatile, as I mentioned, and he's not afraid to tell people if he's not happy, even his own teammates. And I think that is something that Roy Keane used to do when he was leading Man United. And I think if you look at last season, it was very lacking in leaders. Paul Pogba was supposed to be the master, the general in midfield, but he switched off at times, and I don't know if he carried the respect of the team. This guy will put people in his place if they're not performing. He's been known to get into brawls with his own teammates. He's, out training as well. So he'll make people accountable. He'll stand up in that dressing room and he'll make people accountable. And really needed at Man United this last year. There's talk, I think he played internationally for Greece in a World Cup qualifier. He was playing against his own teammate for Roma, Edin Dzeko. And managed to get into a brawl with him. So this guy takes no prisoners, and I like him. I've watched quite a bit of him, and I think he'll fit into the Premier League well. Internationally, he's played for Greece many times. He's a regular for them. He's played in the Champions League, and with that Greek league experience, the Italian league experience, I think if Man United can trigger that release clause, there's talk in Italy that he is ready for a move this time after 5 years at Roma. I think he sees this as probably his last move, his last big move. The draw of the Premiership, and no doubt the finances have come into the Premiership, are the big draw for him. But the Premier League is without doubt seen as the best league, attracts the best players in the world. And I think he wants a part of that. So I think now is the time that somebody will sign him. Like I say, he's been tried many times before, but from what I hear from sources in Italy, the move is on. Somebody just needs to trigger that release clause. That, like I say, other clubs interested in him, but I think he's the sort of player. He's not perfect by any means in terms of his temperament, but neither were some of the great players. But he's tough, he's hard, he'll drive that team forward. He's a winner, he's quick, he's versatile. He'll stand up in the changing room and make people accountable. And I think that's somebody that Solskjaer really does need in the squad. So we'll see. Watch this space. I hear Man United are strongly rumoured to be at the front of the queue. So watch this space and we'll let you know if anything happens. Please, if you like the channel, subscribe below and like the video. I'll keep you up to date with all the latest news and rumours in the football across the Premier League and Europe. Thanks for watching.